Hey folks, welcome back to the Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at Dead Sprint. Dead Sprint is brought to you by Boardgame Studio. It's for 2 to 5 players, ages 13 and up, and game times range anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes. In Dead Sprint, you are all trapped in a hospital, trying desperately to outrun the zombie horde and avoid zombies in your path, all in a hope to find the exit from the hospital and escape. Now, like any good zombie story, your friends are sort of friends. Maybe they end up being fodder in order to allow you to escape. Now, there are 2 ways to actually win Dead Sprint. Either, like I said, be the first one to escape the hospital and make it out the exit, or you can be the last man standing. So here's what a typical setup is going to look like. There's 2 start tiles, one for the horde and one for the players. The horde start in the furthest back position because ultimately this game is truly a race. It's almost like a racetrack that you are running along inside the hospital. So you're going to stack these 2 tiles and place them out on the board. Place the horde at their starting position and the players at their starting position as well. Now, the players can all double up on spots if need be. And like I said, it's a 2 to 5 player game. However, a 5 player game is where things really get interesting. Each player will receive a first aid token. Now, there are 2 types of corridor decks, and this is really what you're going to be using to lay out the path in the hospital. Again, it's like a racetrack almost. And there's a corner deck and a straight deck. And what you're going to do is locate the exit tile. And you're going to shuffle that in at least 8 tiles down in the straight deck. Now, it's very subjective because it's wherever you really want to put it depending on how long you want the game to go. Putting it at the very bottom of the deck can potentially have the game go longer. However, there are lots of zombies to deal with. Your life expectancy in this game could be pretty short, so keep that in mind. And then as far as first player goes, that's pretty subjective. It's however you decide to pick a player at random. And then finally, you'll take all the zombie standees, the action cards, the dice, and tokens, and put them within easy access for all players. Alright, before we jump into what you can do on your turn, let's examine the 5 different types of zombies that you're going to have to deal with. So the big set, the huge horde zombies, they're the ones coming up behind you, and there's no stopping the horde. All you can do is run from them, and you can't dilly-dally because once they catch you, you're gone. Alright, so the standard set of zombies, they have a level 4, and basically that's what you need in order to defeat them when you're rolling dice and using weapons to combining with your dice rolls. So these are the ones you're going to be dealing with most of the time. And then you have the brute zombies, and these are the big zombies that stand in the doorway and say, "You shall not pass," level 6. And then you have the crawlers. And they're the same level, really, as the standard zombies, level 4. But they take up 2 spaces in the hallway, so you can't just maneuver around them as easily as some of the others. And then finally, you have the sploders. And that's why they're only 1 point to kill these guys, because once you kill one, they do damage in a 3x3 grid, just wiping out everything they can possibly wipe out. Now, the first thing you're going to do in your turn is draw an action card. However, you have a maximum of 2 cards that you can hold in your hand at any one time. So if you're not fond of the cards you have, you can discard one and draw a new one. Or you can play a card and draw a new one. But you really can use as many action cards as you want as long as you do it before you roll to move. And of course, these cards do a ton of different things. And a lot of them are geared towards take that. So you know, you're pushing and pulling your so-called friends. There are things you expect, like getting new health tokens, or swapping places with another player. Weapon thief, you can steal weapons from friends, so-called friends. You can trip another player and go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there." And there are lots of other things these cards do. They can manipulate zombies for you. You can get more weapons. You can actually have cards that interrupt players when they try to attack you with cards, which is the deflect card. So there's just a lot of different things going on here in these action cards, and they really are kind of the heart of the game and really dictate what your extra actions are going to be that turn, because the standard actions are going to be to move and place tiles. Now, after you've played your action cards, then it's time to move, and you definitely want to get moving. You're going to take that green dice and you're going to roll it. And if you're at the edge of a tile, then you're going to draw a new tile. You can choose between a corner or a straight piece. And once you pull a new tile, then you're going to populate that tile with tokens and zombies. Now, what's important about these tiles is that there's several types of icons on them. You have your 3-point, 2-point, and 1-point weapons that'll show up. You have your health tokens, you have adrenaline, and things of that nature. So, and then there's barriers. Any of the spaces that have lines through them, those are barriers that cannot be moved through. And you're going to be placing zombies wherever there's a Z. So you'll place standard zombies, but you always have to place one special zombie, and it's your choice which special zombie to place out on the board, but you do have to place one for every tile. Now, as you're moving through these tiles, there are tokens that you will encounter. There's two types of tokens. There's health tokens and weapon tokens. Now, each of these categories, you can only ever hold 2 in your hand of each type. So you can have 2 weapons and you can have 2 health tokens. Now, there's some different variations here. In the weapons, you have 1 through 3. And really, these are just pluses you're going to add to your dice roll in combat. And then, for the health tokens though, you have a health pack which aids you in combat as well. However, the adrenaline is directly related to movement. So if you have adrenaline, you can spin it again and roll and move again. And it's important to note that as you're moving and picking up tokens, you don't have to stop your turn. Your movement will continue after picking up the tokens. Now, if you already got 2 of any type, weapon or health, and you don't like something you're carrying, you can drop one where you're at and pick up the one that was there. So there's a lot of different options with these weapons and health tokens to keep in mind. So it's inevitable. You're going to have to deal with some zombies on your way out of this hospital. However, if there's an orthogonal path that allows you to side skirt a zombie, definitely take that path. But if you have to take on a zombie head to head, you're going to take the red dice and roll it. And you're trying to meet or beat their health in order to destroy them, and having weapons allows you to augment those dice rolls. Now, if you fail to beat the zombie, then you are removed out of the game. You are toast, unless you have a health pack. If you have a health pack, then you can spin that token and move back to where you came from, losing the rest of your turn. However, if you were successful in destroying the zombie, then you continue your movement, and if you did use any weapons to augment your dice roll, you will discard that token. Then after you've completed all your movement, defeated your zombies, picked up tokens, then the Horde gets to activate. And the Horde activates after every player's turn. And you're going to take the yellow dice. Anyone can roll the yellow dice. It doesn't have to be you on your turn. But the yellow dice will be rolled, and the Horde will move that many spaces. Now, it's important to note that there's no way to defeat the Horde. So if they come across you or roll over the top of you, you're dead and out of the game. And likewise, if they roll across other zombies that are out in play, the Horde will absorb those zombies into their mix, giving them an extra movement point for every one that they run through. So play will continue until one player makes it out the exit, or one player is the last human standing, still surrounded by zombies on every side potentially. Alright folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview, and everything you've seen here has been in prototype form. So keep a close eye on the campaign for any changes that still may occur. Now, keep in mind that this game does have player elimination, and there is a fair amount of take that. But if you like that in games, it is truly an experience especially when you play it at 5 players. It is just mass chaos trying to get out of this hospital, and the thematic nature of running from zombies. You truly feel that, especially as the Horde is coming up behind you fast. Alright folks, so if this looks like a game that would be of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. I think that's it for me, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching the Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool Stuff, in stock. Check them out at coolstuffinc.com.